Hello everybody. Here we are this evening, about to jump on the Amphibus, do a little tour of Ottawa Parliament Hill in a different viewpoint. Thank you very much for joining me. We've got a little while to wait before we can jump on the bus. This won't be our bus here, this one's done for the day. Our bus is in the river right now doing a little float around. So en route we get to see a little bit of the governor's residence, and we also get to see the prime minister's residence and a whole bunch more. So hold tight, go ahead and do some people watching while we wait for our bus. As you can see, this bus is got a few extra features than your normal bus, due to the fact that apparently we do quite the dive into the Ottawa River, and hopefully we stay afloat. So I anticipate we are going to roll out of here probably around 7 o'clock-ish. I've started the stream early just to make sure we have no technical difficulties. Give you guys a chance to jump on board and get ready for the view. I think it should be exciting. I'm kind of excited, to be honest with you. I've never been in a bus that rolls around the road and then jumps into the river. So stay tuned for that. We started early so we can be first in line. I feel like a teenager again. We're gonna get the best seat in the bus is our intention. I think we'll go for a seat right near the front, near the cockpit. We'll get a good view out of there. I'm excited to see the Prime Minister's residence, just to see what kind of shack they hold up our Prime Minister in. Apparently we get a better view of his house than, or sorry, the Prime Minister's house than the Governor's house. Governor's house is surrounded by trees, I'm told, so we only get a quick look inside there. From everybody's faces getting off the bus, I think it is a worthwhile thing to do when you're here. Not too many people get a chance to ride a bus that's going to jump into the Ottawa River. Well, I guess I shouldn't use the word jump, right? And hopefully not in, hopefully on the river. So we've got a few, feels kind of like the Titanic. We've got about 30 passengers, but only 4 donuts there for saving people. So hopefully we're going to stay out of the river, with the lack of life savers. For anybody just joining, doesn't know who I am, my name is Paul. Canadian Free Living is the channel. We're here in Ottawa on Parliament Hill. Thought you guys might enjoy going for a bus ride. Hopefully we'll learn a few things tonight, get to see a few things. We're definitely going to see a different viewpoint of Parliament buildings. We're also going to find out where the Prime Minister's residence is, which I have never witnessed that before, so hopefully we'll get to share that with you as well. We did find out today that if you can see that blue shack there, which is right outside the Prime Minister's office building, which is that one there at the end, the real dirty one. Apparently you'll find him around 8 o'clock on Monday to Friday, getting out of his entourage of vehicles right by that blue shack. So if you ever want to get a chance to say hello to your Prime Minister, apparently that's where you'll want to wait. He doesn't show up every day to office, but when he does, that is his route into his building. I would give you a little tour around the bus, but I don't want to lose my first place position. I've been standing here for 45 minutes now, just to make sure I can get first choice of the seats. Hopefully that ends up happening and they don't put me where they want me because I'm a single guy. But yeah, we're gonna get here right at the front. Yeah, I hope it doesn't turn into a sub. That would be a problem. No, we're gonna stay on top of the water. That's absolutely correct. We're not going in. And if we do, hopefully them windows are big enough for me to crawl out. I'm pretty excited. I'm glad there's a few of you coming with me for the ride. I'm also thankful to the organizers here for allowing us to stream it and bring you guys with me. And if you enjoy it enough, the whole idea is when you're here, you'll jump on board. So we'll have you just do some people watching for a little bit. Thank you all for joining the stream. As I was saying earlier, our bus right now is on the river doing his second last tour of the day. We will be the final tour of the day. We're just across from the National War Memorial, so if you are looking for where the bus leaves from, that is where it is, just by the National War Memorial. Ooh, the ride's a little bit pricey. So for you, Mia, it's going to be free tonight. And but for me, it was $47. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Ouch, $47 for a half an hour ride. Excuse me, ma'am. Is it about a half an hour ride?
No, it's actually an hour ride.
Ooh, I apologize. It's an hour ride. So that
Which is about 30 to 40 minutes on land, and then 20 to half an hour on the river.
oh, that's exciting. I am very much looking forward to it.
You'll have fun. You'll see. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good night. So these guys are heading out now. They're done for the day. There was their captain. Rutherford, I don't know if that was sarcasm or not, but the funny thing is, so am I. I feel like a little baby again, little teenager waiting to get on the bus and get the first seat. How mature is that, eh? I was really surprised at how clean the bus comes back after going for a dip in the river. I thought at least the bottom half would be a little bit dirty. No, unfortunately, Dominique, I don't believe extracurricular activities are included in that price. But I have heard if you actually do the double-decker bus ride, then if you do both of them, because there's a double-decker bus that goes just around the city, doesn't go in the water, then there's quite a good discount. So, well, that's pretty funny. I like that. That's right. Bus job only. Otherwise, $47 would be a steal. So for everybody that just joined, we are waiting a little bit. I believe we should be heading out around 7 o'clock. I showed up about 10 to 6, so I could be first in line here so we could get the best seat. These guys are just packing it up for the day. There was our captain of this ship, or bus, I'm not sure what you call it. So he gets to go home now after a hard day at work. We are going to get to do quite the sightseeing, I'm told, including going past the governor's residence and the prime minister's residence. So if any of you were wondering where the prime minister's residence is, then you're about to find out within the next hour. So our plan is to get right up there behind the cockpit. We're going to do about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes on road, and I think we'll have someone giving us a nice description of what we're looking at. Obviously better than what I can do. And then we're going to head into the river and be able to look at all the Parliament buildings from the river. So also the Supreme Court building. So that's really going to be exciting. I I noticed the bus last week actually when I was over by the canal looking onto the river, and I could have swore I saw a bus in the middle of the river. And then I came around, asked some questions, and located that the fact that we have this Amphibus called Lady Dive. Yeah, I'll give you guys a little shot of the sign here. The line starts here for the Amphibus. And like I said, you can't see it right here, but we're just right across from the National War Memorial, just on the other side of those trees. We are just beside the Prime Minister's office building. That's that one there in the center, the dirty one. It's one of the dirtier buildings here on the hill that I've found. And there's one of the Parliament buildings across the street. So you guys can do a little bit of people watching for a little bit while we wait for our bus to arrive. So if you are looking for a enjoyable BJ bus job, then maybe you would like to be the cockpit driver of the bus. We're expecting to leave around 7 or 7:10-ish. I just wanted to make sure we get on early, give you guys a chance to get set up, make sure audio's okay. Everything's rolling. We did have some technical difficulties and I had to cancel the stream 5 minutes before I even started. So that's why, if any of you were waiting and then had to re-find it, that's why. I apologize for that. It wouldn't let me edit the title and I noticed a spelling mistake. So we canceled it and restarted.
Of course.
Thanks, Mia, for the giggle. I don't think there's a bar on the bus. I could be wrong. I understand that would be kind of neat, but I don't think, according to the sign here, there's no food or drinks allowed on the bus except for water. I'll give you guys a little look at the red building where you'll buy your tickets. That's where you go to buy your tickets. Like I said, if you buy a package, they'll give it to you a bit cheaper. And I suggest you get here at least half an hour early so you can be at the front. Hello, Seize the Day. Thank you for joining the stream. Always nice to have you. For those of you that don't know, the dirty building on the left is the Prime Minister's. And the one across the street is just one of the Parliament buildings. I'm not sure what goes on in that building. I was told by one of the crew members here that in the morning, if you're lucky, at that blue building in front of us is where you'll get to witness the Prime Minister show up with his entourage of vehicles and get out of the vehicle and cross into the building. So everybody wanting to get a chance to get a close-up of the Prime Minister, apparently that's your opportunity. I'm not, well, I won't say that one out loud. Well, you never know, Dominique. You might want to bring yourself a carton of eggs if that's your opinion. You know, if you felt, or maybe you could bring them a bouquet of roses. I guess it just depends on which side of the fence you're on. I can't go give you a close-up of why I'm calling it dirty, but if you go by and look at all the windows, they desperately are in need of cleaning. Yeah, see, I thought you might change your mind now. Now that I mentioned your options, eggs versus roses, let's see, what would you bring, eggs or roses? Oh, there we go. We got, hopefully it's Mia or is it Maya? I'm not sure, but we'll go with Maya. So Maya's gonna wait for the next PM to bring some roses. So I guess that means she'd be bringing eggs this time. I agree with you, Cindy. That would be a good idea. Might cause some serious shock. Might get put into the loony bin, or you'd probably get shot, but before you'd get a hug in. But you're right, I agree with you. He certainly could use some extra love. Maybe that might change his ways. And that's a good idea, Maya, is to not use your real name. Some people don't realize that they can change their handle here on YouTube and put it to something abnormal. I chose Maya because my daughter's dog is named Maya. Still got a little while to wait for everybody who just jumped on the stream here. We're anticipating heading out around 7:10, I believe they mentioned. So I just wanted to get here early, so as you can see, the line starts right here and we are first in place. So we can get hopefully the best view. I talked to a couple of the crew members here and they mentioned that the front is the best view, especially mostly when you do the dive into the water. I didn't really like, please don't make me laugh in the middle of a sentence. Didn't really like his wording, taking a dive into the water. I would have preferred a nice slow, you know, I'm more of a slow get in there, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's take a little look down the street. Not much to see. So I didn't mean to offend Maya. I appreciate that you identify as a cat. And of course, Caesar Day has to identify as an ocean just to try to confuse me. Hello, Florida, from Naples, Florida. Hello, Maya from Quebec. So far we've got Quebec and we've got Florida here joining us. Dickered with Dave. I am a meat popsicle. That would be something different. Can't say I've had one of them before. Hopefully that wasn't some kind of slang term. If you were to ask me who I identify myself or what I identify myself is, I guess I just got to go with human. I've got nothing really funny on that one. I've tried to get myself a little bit of distance from the people behind me in line because for some reason my lunch is making me a little bit gassy. So I guess I should have had the Pepto-Bismol. And I probably should have actually turned the camera around so you could have seen the looks on the people's faces when I just said that. I apologize, seize the day. I agree with you. I actually only, I think, spit it out because if you guys were hearing anything weird in the microphone, I guess now you'll know. So TMI. Understood. So I don't know what time it is, but I think we've got about half an hour to wait, maybe less or something. Anybody know? I think it's around 6:45 would be my guess here in Ottawa Movement. Yeah, movement. I was just reading that bowel movement comment. Yeah, that'll be a tough thing to do while we're in the middle of a river, won't it be? So I'm excited. I have never been on a bus that goes in the water intentionally. So 6:52 in Toronto. So there we go. We've got someone here from Toronto. Thanks for the shout out. So in about 8 minutes, I think the bus/boat should show up. It'll be coming right around this corner. Yeah, I believe it's a gas-powered boat. It will be after we're on it, apparently. I think I catch your joke there. Yeah, I caught it. So a few more minutes, and then apparently the bus ride's about an hour, 30 to 40 minutes on ground, and 20 minutes in the river. On the river. Hopefully I'm not jinxing us by keep saying in the river. We're pretty much on the intersection of Wellington and Elgin if you guys are looking to where to find this spot, if you ever get a chance to come here and try the boat ride or the bus ride. Hello, Rhonda from New Brunswick. Thank you for joining the stream. I hope you enjoy it. We're about to go for a boat ride/bus ride to get a little bit more information on some of the sites here in Ottawa, Canada, Parliament Hill. We're going to find out where the Prime Minister's residence is. I've heard it's a small mansion that is visible from the road. It is on the Ottawa River. And we're also going to get a look at the governor's residence, but apparently we will not get to see his house because it's behind lots of trees and it's a massive property. And that probably doesn't surprise you. Oh, and actually I can just make out the clock tower over there. Let's see if we can zoom in. Whoop. Oh, there we go. We have confirmation of the time. So yeah, we have less than 15 minutes to wait. not long at all. Somebody was asking about the cost of the ride. Taxes in was $47 for the hour ride. Here comes the bus now. So we'll make sure we've secured our position by the sign to be first in line. And this will either be our first bus ride on an Amphibus or it will be our last. I'm betting on the latter. Previous, not the latter. No. Yeah, I said that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I've had my eyes on this bus. Like I was saying earlier, I noticed about a week ago I was looking out on the Ottawa River from the canal and could have swore I saw a bus in the middle of the river. And then later I took a look around and found out, yes, I did see a bus. There's our captain. Good day, gentlemen. Successful ride? Everybody looks dry? What do you think? Thumbs up? Double thumbs. Good job. Right on. So we got a 2 thumbs up from someone. For everybody just joining the stream, my name is Paul, Canadian Free Living's YouTube channel. We're about to go for a ride on the river in a bus. We're gonna get to learn a few things about Parliament Hill along the tour. Well, I don't think they will be washing the seats, so there'll be a Maya, that's a sad comment. Hopefully you're wrong. Was it a good ride, sir? All right, we've got more confirmation of a positive ride. You're not butting in line, are you? Oh, okay, great. I've been waiting an hour to be first. I was gonna say, there goes me waiting an hour. Thanks, guy. Was it a good time? Fantastic. All right, so we have no thumbs down so far on the ride. What do you say, peeps? Thumbs up? All right. Everybody's liking this ride. I'm excited. TD, that is actually one of the stops we plan on making this summer, but I don't know if I'd be able to bring you with me or not, because a lot of these companies like to, they think it would be beneficial not to share it with everybody. Meanwhile, I've got 5 or 6 people that plan on buying tickets, so.
You're Paul.
I am Paul. Am I ready to go?
Yeah, I will start loading you guys on.
Oh,
just a
okay,
second.
when you say so. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, what was your
All right, so we've got 69 people coming for a bus ride with us. Oh my goodness. Some of the comments you guys make are pretty far out there. But yeah, the Niagara Falls boat ride is definitely a fun one, but it'd be pretty hard to bring a camera because you get pretty soaked. I hear this ride is going to be dry. I figure if anybody tries to sit beside me, I'll just let them know about my lack of Pepto-Bismol. So Mr. Prosy, well, I might have tried that crepe place, but what? What was the matter? Oh, because of what it's done to my intestines. And the fact that I'm going to fuel the bus? Is that what your comment was about? Terry, I'm with you. That's what I'm thinking. I've actually saved one for a couple minutes now. Unfortunately, it's too much information for you guys to let you know that I'm gassy tonight, but oh well, I've done it, so. That's what we're going to shoot for. Front row seat by ourselves. Well, we need not worry if the bus has a problem. We have 4 lifesavers for about 40 people.
All right, so you guys, you can go right up on the first seat on the left.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, I've been told to go up here, and when she means first seat, I hope she's meaning first seat at the front, because that's where I'm going. And I think she means at the back. Oh, this will be right. We're gonna go behind the driver, I think. That way. All right. So here you go, guys. We are behind the cockpit. We've got a good view out the left window. We've got an okay view out the front window. And then we've got a good view out there too. Good day, sir. So I guess all my warnings about being gassy didn't help. The lady has directed everybody where to sit. We are directly behind the captain's seat. We will have the person giving our narrative just over to our right. Oh, you want me to give it a honk, eh? You're trying to get us kicked off the bus? Or do I say the boat? Well, I guess for now I say the bus. Somebody said something about life jackets are getting me nervous. I was already pointing it out. It felt like the Titanic. They've only got 4 lifesavers for all these people.
Lifesavers for everybody.
10 per each lifesaver. No, nothing under the seats except for a lot of heat. A lot of heat is coming out. I guess the engine's in the front. But I'm certainly feeling a lot of warmth, so that'll be good. We've got an unobstructed view out of this window. Not much to see right now. And then hopefully our drivers doesn't have too much dandruff because we're sitting right behind them.
We switch halfway, okay?
So for everybody just joining the stream, we're about to go for a ride around Parliament Hill on an Amphibus, they call it. We're going to do about 30 to 40 minutes on the road, and then we're going to do about 20-30 minutes on the river. We're going to get a nice guided tour of what the buildings are. We get to see the Prime Minister's residence, the Governor's residence. We get to look at the Parliament buildings from the river. Hey, Mr. Green Thumb, thanks for joining. We're going for a boat ride. Talking about typical tourist, eh? I guess when we look out the front window, we'll be having a good look at the driver. We can see in the mirror there above his head. So someone's asking, how long is the ride? The ride is about an hour, we were told. About 30 to 40 minutes on the road and about 20 to 30 minutes on the water. And the price, including taxes, was $47. I'm pretty sure you can reduce that quite a bit if you were to also book the double-decker bus ride. No, the sign said no food or drink on the bus, so I'm pretty sure that will be the case. There was a quick view of everybody getting loaded onto the bus. I didn't see anybody putting on any life jackets, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a safe trip. Dominique, I'm pretty sure there's no smoking on the bus. We would not want to start a fire while we're going down the river. I'll probably get yelled at for this, but here's a little look outside the bus. Actually, I've decided not to stick my arm out there in case another bus goes by and I lose my arm. We wouldn't want to drop the phone. Terry, that's an interesting comment because I did read that on any government property there is no smoking allowed. I just read that this weekend. Hey, I'm not making the rules, Mr. Green. Only occasionally following them. No, I wouldn't be able to pick it up. It's 10 feet down. But you are right. Of course, you want to grab it and run. Just going to take my bag off, sir. Oh. Uh-oh, I think we're having some technical difficulties. The sounds from the front of the bus aren't sounding too positive. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting my gear here a little bit better organized for the ride. Excuse me, sir. Hold on. Okay, sure. Thank you.
No problem.
We've got our lovely assistant holding the camera right now. Oh, we got our stuff open and... All right. All right, sir. Thank you. All right. You did a great job. Appreciate it. See, there goes that bus I was talking about. Would have just lost my arm. Just laughing at somebody saying it might be a carp around my feet making that strange noise. A little bit of a glare on the windows, making it a bit of a fuzzy view for you guys. Looks like our captain and co-captain are taking their position. We're about to start.
All right, so welcome aboard, everyone. My name's Rudy. I'll be your tour guide this evening. This is our Captain Ken right here. So welcome to Ottawa. Est-ce que les Français, English, Français, tu comprends l'anglais, c'est en français? What was that? Français ou English? Français? Français, les deux. Oh, perfect. All right. So, let's go see the nation's capital. So, allons-y. Is this anyone's first time to Ottawa? Premier fois en Ottawa? Yeah, me too. Excellent. Perfect. So first thing we're going to see on our left right here, we have the War Memorial. So this is where everyone goes, November the 11th, right here. So the Monument de Guerre, c'est la plus mobile 11 novembre. Now every day from 9 to 5, there's a changing of the guard right here. So tomorrow, between 9 and 5, you can come watch the changing of the guard. So chaque jour, entre 9 et 5, il y a un changement de garde là. On your right, there's the British Embassy right there. Embassy of the Royaume-Uni. 130 embassies in Ottawa. That's the first one we're going to see right there. 130 ambassades, okay. C'est le premier qu'on va voir. National Arts Center for all the plays and the operas. Centre National des Arts pour les spectacles de l'art.
No, they do not get bathroom breaks.
So right now we're on a bridge, and under us is the Rideau Canal, world's largest skating rink. So if you look on your right, there's the canal right there. So à droite, Canal Rideau, le plus grand patinoire dans le monde. So every January, 50,000 people a day go skating on the canal. Janvier, 50,000 gens for le patinage sur le canal. So it starts in Ottawa and goes all the way down to Kingston, right across from New York State. Ça continue 200 km, juste à Kingston et New York. Now straight ahead, there's the Chateau Laurier Hotel right there. So tu dois à l'Hôtel Chateau Laurier. If you get a chance to go inside, there's a really nice little free museum. Check it out, really nice, the staff is friendly. So il y a une musique gratuite dans l'Hôtel Chateau Laurier, pour visiter. Now on your right, that's the old train station of Ottawa. Union Station right there. It's now the Senate of Canada. So ça, c'est l'ancienne garde de ville. Maintenant, the Senate of Canada. So there's the Senate right there, open to the public tomorrow. You can come visit it. So demain, tu peux visiter, you will.
What will we see inside?
Politicians, hopefully working very hard.
Thank you.
It's a really nice old building, the old train station of Ottawa. And they're renovating the Parliament right now. So while they're doing that, they moved the Senate to this building right here. So for the next 8 years, they imagine they're going to continue renovating the Parliament. And this will be open to the public. So like I said, check it out. Ils ont en train de faire la rénovation du Parlement sur le Sénat. Ils ont déménagé ici. Now on your right here, we have the big shopping mall, the Rideau Center. C'est dans le centre commercial, le centre Rideau là. That is definitely open to the public. So we're going to turn left onto Sussex. And we're going to see a lot of the big embassies right now. So on va voir beaucoup de grandes ambassades maintenant sur le Rue Sussex. Now, if you look straight ahead, you're going to see a big castle on the left. That building is the most unpopular building in all of Canada. Canada Revenue Agency, the tax people. So they're below des impôts now. So there's the CRA, largest government department. 45,000 people work for the CRA. And not one of them can answer the telephone. I was on hold for 3 hours last week. And on your left, the biggest and most expensive embassy in Canada, the American Embassy right here, opened up in 1999 by Bill Clinton. $250 million. So l'ambassade des États-Unis, $250 million. So we'll see the American Embassy in a second. But first on your right, this is the market. So you got Clarence, York, and George Street. That's where you'll find all the really good restaurants. So the Rue Clarence, York, and George, tu vas trouver 300 restaurants. All this 5-minute walk from the kiosk. So if you want to come back here for dinner, check it out. Lots of really good restaurants. Beaucoup de bons restaurants. That big Ottawa sign there. You can get a selfie. You want to see me on the walk. So on your left there is the sign, United States of America. Big party tomorrow, 4th of July. Mais la fête des États-Unis,
How long is our ride today, sir? 1 hour? Fantastic.
All right, now coming up on your right, you're going to see the Notre Dame Basilica right here. If you get a chance to go inside, incredible, right here, Notre Dame Basilica. So voilà, the best thing Notre Dame. And on your left, we have the National Gallery of Canada, the Art Museum. La Roche Musée des Beaux-Arts, entre Louvre. So a lot of embassies here on Sussex. Coming up on your right, we have the Embassy for Kuwait, right here. So you have what for the Centre Kuwait. And on your left, the Royal Canadian Mint. And when they went out to Canada, tours are available. You can go inside the mint, check it out, just no free samples. So you got the tours for the money way out to Canada. Here's the Royal Canadian Mint. So on your right over here, we have the Japanese Embassy. Juste ici à droite, l'ambassade du Japon. So a lot of big embassies in this neighborhood. Down the road, there's the Indian Embassy, the Chinese, the Russian, and right here, on your right, Saudi Arabia. So à droite, l'ambassade de l'Arabie Saoudite. There's the Saudis right there. Now this big brown building on your right, that's the Lester B. Pearson building, Department of Global Affairs. So à droite, c'est Lester B. Pearson, Ministère des Affaires mondiales. Lester B. Pearson, very popular Prime Minister. Back in the 60s, did many great things. Gave us the Canadian flag in 65, won a Nobel Peace Prize. Lester B. Pearson, Premier ministre dans les années 60, là ça devient un drapeau canadien. On your left right here, National Research Council of Canada, big science lab. Le Conseil national de recherche, le grand laboratoire.
National Research Center.
As we cross this bridge, we're heading into the oldest neighborhood in all of Ottawa, New Edinburgh. So this is where the Scottish settled in the 1820s, when Ottawa officially began. So ici le quartier le plus ancien en Ottawa, Nouveau Edinburgh, les Écosses en 1820. Now coming up on your right, you're going to see a little house with 2 white doors. This is the first schoolhouse of Ottawa, 1837. So à droite, on va voir la première école d'Ottawa, 1837. So right over here, right next to the red car, there's the first schoolhouse. And at the time, there were 12 students. 12 étudiants à cette époque. So there it is. Now in Washington, you have 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. In London, you have 10 Downing Street. And in Ottawa, on your left, 24 Sussex. À gauche, 24 Sussex. Donc, c'est une maison de la Premier ministre. So this is where the Prime Ministers used to live. But no more. Right here with the statue of the Queen, we have Rideau Hall. This is the official residence of the Governor General of Canada, the person who represents the Queen. And this is where the Prime Minister lives now, at Rideau Hall. So ici la résidence du gouverneur général et le Premier ministre de Canada. So 80 acres open to the public, absolutely active publicité. So this is where Trudeau lives, right here. So Trudeau, I mean, so right now we're going to head out towards the most expensive neighborhood in all of Ottawa, Rockcliffe. This is where all the politicians, ambassadors, and tour guides live. Le plus cher en Ottawa, Rockcliffe, c'est ici les politiciens, ambassadeurs et guides touristiques habillent. Now, unfortunately, buses aren't allowed to drive through. The RCMP would give Ken a big ticket. Car you can drive through. So this is the Beverly Hills of Ottawa right here. So si tu as une voiture, tu peux visiter la maison incroyable. So there's Rockcliffe. Now the reason that Trudeau doesn't live in Forsyth is because the house itself is in pretty bad shape. It was built in 1850, and when Trudeau won in 2015, they told him he wasn't going to be living at 24/7. He was going to be moving to Rideau Hall. So this is now where the Prime Minister lives, at Rideau Hall. So 24 Sussex est en très mauvais état. So quand Trudeau a gagné en 2015, il a déménagé ici. So from 1850 to 2015, 24 Sussex is where the Prime Ministers used to live. They're thinking of turning it into a museum. Ils pensent que c'est peut-être une chose, ça va être un museum. So there's the statue of the Queen. Been the Queen for 70 years. So la reine pour 70 ans. And coming up on your left, right over here, we have South Africa. À gauche, South Africa, right there. And on your right over here, we have the French embassy. À droite, l'ambassade de France. There's France, right there. Voilà. This is one of the only embassies in Canada where the ambassador lives and works. It's the home and the office. C'est la maison et le bureau. And right here, Rideau Falls, their own mini Niagara Falls. There, Rideau Falls, right over there.
Is that a natural falls?
They are. Yep, 32 feet down. To the Rideau River into the Ottawa River. All right, so we're leaving Ontario, and we're heading next door to Quebec. So we're going to go river in about 2 minutes. We will be in Gatineau, Quebec. So on va quitter Ontario, et on va à Gatineau, Québec maintenant.
That's really cool.
So like I said, a lot of the big embassies are in this neighborhood. So down the road, you've got the Russian embassy, Chinese embassy, Indian embassy, and right now we're going to see the embassy for the United Arab Emirates. So maintenant, on va voir l'ambassade pour les Émirats. So like I said, there are about 130 embassies in Ottawa. Au total, 130 ambassades. So straight ahead, there are the Emirates, right there. Tout droit, les Émirats. So here we go, over to Quebec. So we're gonna go over the Ottawa River, the border, and in 2 minutes we'll be in Gatineau. So you see that frontier? Arrivée au Douai, maintenant, Gatineau, Quebec. On your left, you're gonna see the whole marina. That's where we're going to. So à gauche, c'est là où on va avec tous les bateaux.
All right, over there in the marina is where we're.
So on your right, there's the border. Quebec, right there. Quebec. So Ontario, 16 million people. Quebec, 9 million people. Ontario, 7 million. Quebec, 9 million. Et voilà, Quebec, city of Gatineau. So there are about 350,000 people here. 350,000. So if you look straight ahead, there's the sign for Montreal. So you keep going straight ahead, you get to Montreal in 2 hours. Or in this bus, 3 days. So did you continue to go to Montréal dans 2 heures, dans 7 bus, 3 jours. Alright, so all this right here, this is all Jacques Cartier Park. And we're going to get ready to go into the water in a couple of minutes. Vous allez essayer le parc Jacques Cartier, on prépare pour rentrer dans l'eau dans quelques minutes. So you'll see the sign on your left right there, Jacques Cartier Park. This is where we have our big winter festivities here, the Bal de Neige. So dans l'hiver, ici pour le Bal de Neige dans cette parc. Now, before we go in the water, just like in an airplane, we got some safety stuff we got to go over, so we'll do that right now. So maintenant, comme dans un avion, il y a des choses de sécurité qu'on peut faire. Alright, so life jackets. So for the adults, they're under your seats. For the children, there are 6 at the back. If we need them, I will go get them for you. For the fire extinguishers, 2 at the back, 1 next to me. For the emergency exit, the little red tab right here, push on that, push out the window. That's the emergency exit right there. So pour les gilets de sauvetage, en fond, il y a 6 en arrière, et pour l'extincteur, il y a 2 en arrière, une à côté de moi, et le sortie d'urgence. Push up, push up, and voila. And I'm going to show you how to put one of these fun things on right now. So just come on, ça. All right. So, life jacket. Put it on. Wrap the belt around. Voila, comme ça. Tie it up. And you even have a fancy little whistle. Here you go, super easy. So is everyone ready to want to pay? All right.
Woo! Have we ever needed the life jackets?
There we go.
Not willing to answer that question.
All right, so get your cameras ready, because here we go, Ottawa River coming up right now.
All right, guys, here goes the dive. Woo!
We had a perfect day for this, really nice out on the water. C'est magnifique sur l'eau maintenant. All right, so here we go.
I don't know about you, but I don't like why I wasn't willing to answer that question.
Yeah, please, out the window.
Somebody's asking, what do we do if we get seasick? Woo! She's bouncy.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Green, here we go, buddy.
So here we go, the Ottawa River. So
So what do you guys think? Do we go in fast and hard or slow and easy?
We're just got a boat right here, so we just have to wait for him to get through, and then we'll be good. There's a car. I'm not quite sure what this guy's doing here. Hopefully his brakes are on.
Must look odd to people that don't know what you guys are doing.
Not the best parking spot in the city.
Oh, the car! The car, Ijan! Nanimano!
All right, here we go.
Okay, good news. We started to float.
Et voila, we're a boat.
If you're wondering where the rich park their boats, I think we found it.
So we're on the Ottawa River. That'll be out the way.
That goes to me later, okay?
So if you go left, east 200 kilometers, you get to Montreal, where the Ottawa River turns into the St. Lawrence, which eventually turns into the Atlantic Ocean. So 1,400 kilometers that way, you get to Nova Scotia and the Atlantic Ocean. So si tu tournes à gauche, 200 km, tu arrives à Montréal. Là, c'est le Saint-Laurent qui est éventuellement l'Atlantique. So right in front of us, this is the old train bridge, the Alexandra right here, built in 1900. So ça, c'est l'ancien pont de train, l'Alexandra. What's going to be in the south?
Are we using a prop now? Prop?
Flat?
Are we using a prop, a propeller?
Propeller, yep. So the wheels will stop moving, propeller's taking over. Yeah, if you look straight ahead, there's the Canadian Museum of History. Inside the museum, you've got the world's largest collection of totem poles, postal museum, children's museum, history of Canada, IMAX cinemas, 4 million artifacts. Dans le musée de l'histoire, il y a la plus grande collection de totems dans le monde, l'histoire de Canada, IMAX cinemas, 4 millions de choses à voir. And on your left, there's
You're
the
welcome.
locks and the canal right there. So voilà les écluses et le canal Lido. So it takes roughly 3 to 4 hours to go through the locks. Ça prend environ 3 to 4 heures pour traverser. Now the reason that they built the canal was because after the War of 1812 between the British and the Americans, the British government was worried that the Americans would attack again. So they wanted to build a safe passageway for the ships to go through Ontario. So they started construction of the canal in Ottawa in 1826, finished it in Kingston in 1832, but by the time they finished building the canal in 1832, we were friends with the Americans. So the British military never ended up using it. So ils ont construit le canal parce qu'après la guerre de 1812, les Américains, contre les Américains et le Royaume-Uni, tout le monde d'Angleterre avait peur que les Américains attaquent encore. Ils voulaient construire un canal pour les bateaux traverser l'Ontario. Et ça a duré 6 ans pour la construction, mais quand ils ont fini, en 1832, on était des amis avec les Américains. Ils n'ont jamais utilisé. Now, if you were on a boat in Ottawa and you wanted to do the 200 kilometer journey from Ottawa to Kingston by boat, it would take you 3 days to get there. You can only go 10 kilometers an hour, and there are 47 locks you have to pass through. So it takes you 3 days to get to Kingston by boat. If you want to get there a little faster, you can drive, hour and a half. Essayer de prendre le bateau Ottawa-Kingston sur le canal, ça prend 3 jours. Tu peux faire 10 km par heure, il y a 47 écluses qu'il faut traverser. Avec une voiture, un petit peu plus vite, 1 heure et demie. To use the canal in all 47 locks, it would cost you roughly $500. Ça coûte environ $500 pour utiliser le canal avec 47 écluses. And there's the Parliament. So you got 3 buildings to the Parliament: the East Block, the West Block, and the Center Block. Il y a 3 parties de Parlement: l'Est, le West, et le Centre. Now, on February 3rd, 1916, there was a big fire, and the whole Center Block burned down. Everything was destroyed, except for the round building at the back, the library. That did not catch on fire. But everything else had to be rebuilt. So the Center Block you're looking at, that was done in 1926. But the 2 side buildings, they're the originals from the 1860s, and the library as well. So le 378, 1916, il y avait un grand feu. Et tout le centre a brûlé, sauf la bibliothèque en arrière. So ils ont reconstruit le Parlement en 1926, mais de 2 côtés, c'est les originales de 1860. So they're renovating the Parliament right now. They finished the West Block right there. So tours are available of the West Block. So tu peux faire un tour de the West Block now. But the rest of the Parliament, they're still working on that. Continue to faire la rénovation à la Parlement, l'autre partie.
Oh, you can go down them?
So straight ahead, that building with the little windows right there, that is the National Library and the Archives of Canada. So tout droit, c'est les archives et la bibliothèque du Canada. Right there, the gray building with the green roof, that's the Supreme Court of Canada. Canada. And the 2 brown buildings right there, they're the Confederation buildings. And that's where the politicians have their offices. So that's les édifices Confédération pour les politiciens. Let's wave to these folks, shall we? Hi there. All right, so there's the Parliament. So right there, so what up? The Parlement. Best view in the city, right there. On a meilleure vue. You'll see there's a really nice path right here. So you can go down some stairs at the Parliament and you can walk all along the Ottawa River right here. So il y a des escaliers là et tu peux traverser. Escaliers. The stairs are closed. None of the locks. Yeah, there no. But of the locks, they're all. Normally the house is Senate, but because they're renovating it, they moved the Senate to the train station, the house, I believe, to the West Block. Offices. Just offices, yeah. there's the library right there. So as I said, the library did not burn down during the big fire. What happened was, when the librarian saw the fire at the end of the hallway, quick thinking person quickly closed the big steel doors, preventing the fire from spreading. So at the end of the fire, the whole building had burned down except for the library, which was a blessing because there were some valuable books in that building right there. So luckily the library survived the fire. So the bibliothèque, ça n'a pas brûlé. So ça c'est l'original de 1860. So that building, that's the original library from the 1860s. But the building in front of it, the center block, 1926. What caused the fire? Excellent question. It's still a bit of a mystery, but they believe that a politician threw a cigarette in a garbage can next to a varnished desk, and the whole thing went up in flames. So they believe it was caused by a cigarette, but they're not 100% sure. The other belief is it might have been an electrical system, but nobody's 100% sure. So there's the locks. So you go down the stairs, and you get to the locks. There's a little museum. Really nice. So you got this escalier. You have this So 8 locks right there. 3 tickets. And there's the Rideau Canal World Heritage Site. Looking at it,
Does our driver have a driver's license and a boat license? Is he a captain and a driver?
No, we just found him. Yeah. He's really good. He's one of our good captains. He's been doing this a long time.
So he's a driver on the road and a kid in the water.
Exactly.
Dual purpose.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Thank
We'll
you.
keep him. He's good.
Oh, sorry, guys.
So straight ahead there is the Supreme Court of Canada. Studio the Cour Supreme de Canada là. So Ottawa has 1 million people. It's the 5th largest city in Canada. The largest city in Canada is Toronto with 6 million. Second is Montreal with 4. Third is Vancouver out on the west coast. They have 3 million. Fourth is Calgary with 1.3 million. And fifth is Ottawa with 1 million. And Canada has a total population of 39 million people. So not a lot of people live in the world's second largest country. Russia is the largest, Canada is second, and 80% of all Canadians live within 1 hour of the American border. So once you get past Calgary, and especially Edmonton, not a lot up north, pretty empty. Here in Ottawa, we're about 45 minutes from New York State, and in Vancouver, you're 30 minutes from Washington State. So en Ottawa, 1 million d'habitants. C'est le 5e ville le plus grand au Canada. Premier, c'est Toronto, avec 6 millions. Deuxième, c'est Montréal, avec 4. Troisième, Vancouver, avec 3. Quatrième, c'est Calgary. Et 5e, Ottawa. Il y a un total de 39 millions d'habitants au Canada. C'est pas beaucoup de monde dans le deuxième plus grand pays dans le monde. So if you keep going straight ahead, you get to Montreal. 200 kilometers, and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. So tout droit 200 km, tu arrives à Montréal, et éventuellement l'Atlantique. So we're going to turn left and head back to Gatineau. So on va retourner au Gatineau now. On your right, that building with the chimney right there, that's the Royal Canadian Mint. Right there. That's on your way out to Canada.
They have a shop where you can buy stuff.
There's yeah, you can do a tour of the mint. Nice building. There's you can see how the money gets made, and there's a shop.
I noticed online they sell gold bars.
Yeah, you can buy everything there. It's really it's a nice little place.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you. Just laughing at the comments there. Oh, we're taking on a bit of water. We're just doing a bit of splashing here. Looks like we're hitting a little bit of turbulence. Do you ever cancel the ride because the water's too rough?
Sometimes the weather, if there's an electrical storm, then we have to go in. And we had a tornado in Ottawa about a month ago. Then we all got notices from the Ontario government saying, get off the road in the water. So it's rare though. So the boats, you'll see right here, a lot of them have the American flag on them. So the boats will come up from New York, they'll come on the canal, they'll go down the locks, then they'll park here for a few days, and then they'll continue on to Montreal, or the opposite. They'll come from Montreal, park here a few days, then go on the canal and head down to New York. So you'll see a lot of the boats here with the American flags on them. Il y a des bateaux qui arrivent de New York où ils ont train d'aller au Montréal.
Oops, tried to give you the illusion that we were sinking. Exactly, JC, so I'm pretty sure he's not going to answer about the engine trouble. I think for the enjoyment of everybody's ride, we don't want to let them know that there's been issues in the past. Probably hasn't been. Apparently they check these vehicles out daily, so the amount of maintenance on one of these vehicles has to be intense.
Alright, so here we go, back to dry land. On va retourner à Gatineau maintenant. So if you look on your right, that boat right there with the American flag, it's from Virginia. So they came all the way up New York State and down here to the Ottawa River. Le bateau avec le drapeau américain, ça vient de Virginia là.
Imagine the cost of that fuel.
But if you can afford that boat, you can afford the gas.
Yeah, yeah. But I bet you they still whine about the price.
All right, so here we go. Voila. Good job, Ken.
Woo, we made it.
So we're back in Gatineau, Quebec. Oh, Gatineau, Quebec.
Well, good news, guys. No life preservers needed. Successful trip.
Now, if you look quickly on your left, you're going to see a statue of a famous hockey player here in Quebec, number 9, with the Montreal Canadiens, Maurice the Rocket Richard. So on your left, there he is, à gauche. Statue de Maurice Richard avec le Canadien. The Stanley Cup comes from Ottawa. It was born here. Unfortunately, it hasn't been back for a while. Ottawa's won the Stanley Cup 11 times, and we're going to win again next year. So the Cup Stanley vient d'Ottawa. Malheureusement, la dernière fois c'était ici, c'était environ 100 ans. Mais on a gagné 11 fois. On va gagner encore l'année prochaine. We came that close. In 2007, we're in the finals against Anaheim. But we lost it, unfortunately, to a team called the Ducks. On a presque gagné le Cup Stanley en 2017 contre Anaheim, mais malheureusement, on a perdu l'année prochaine. Alright, so we're going to slowly make our way back to Ontario now. So, Valamo, retourner en Ontario. So the city of Gatineau right here is 25 years older than the city of Ottawa. It was established by an American gentleman by the name of Mr. Philemon Wright from Massachusetts. He came up here in 1800, he opened up a lot of factories, and he named the town after himself. He named it Wrightsville. Then when he died, they changed the name to Hull, after the city in England where he was born. And it was known as Hull for many years. Still around 10 years ago, they changed the name. It is no longer the city of Hull, it is now the city of Gatineau. So la ville de Gatineau, c'est 25 ans plus vieille que la ville d'Ottawa. C'était commencé par un homme des États-Unis, M. Philemon Wright de Massachusetts. Et en 1800, il est venu ici, au Bolivie, nommer la ville Wrightsville. Et quand elle a mouru, ils ont changé le nom à Hull. Après la ville en Angleterre, vous l'avez. Et c'était Hull jusqu'à 2012. Ils ont changé le nom. C'est maintenant la ville de Gatineau. Alright, so last building we're going to see in Quebec. On your right, big green and white building over there, that's the Hilton Hotel, the big casino. The Casino de Lac Lévis right over there. Really nice place to go, good restaurants, there are concerts, and you might win some money. So voilà, le grand Casino de Lac Lévis, à gauche là, pour les concerts, la musique et pour jouer. So here we go, back to Ontario. Now we're going to go over the bridge, and coming up on your left, you're going to see Rideau Falls, our own mini Niagara Falls coming up right now. So à gauche, on va voir les petits chutes Niagara, les chutes Rideau. So get your cameras ready, because on your left, you're going to see the waterfalls. So à gauche, les chutes Rideau là. There they are. Now, if you look up to your left, you're going to see that house right there with all the chimneys. That's the home of Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald. Lived and died in that home. It's now the home of the British High Commissioner, the British Ambassador. There's the Union Jack right there. So voilà, la maison de la première Premier ministre, Sir John A. Macdonald. Maintenant, la maison de l'ambassadeur du Royaume-Uni. There's Sir John A. Macdonald, Mr. $10 Bill's house. Right there. Our first Prime Minister.
I guess back then that would be considered a mansion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So here we are. million people. Ottawa in video. So we're back in Ontario. So once again, we have the United Arab Emirates right here. So the countries pay for the land. They can build whatever they want. Once you're over the fence, you're no longer in Canada, and we have no say in what they do. So there's the United Arab Emirates. So the pays pour la terre, ils peuvent construire ça qu'ils veulent. So 130 embassies in Ottawa, 130 ambassades.
So they don't need a building permit.
The embassies have special privileges. So they buy the land, and then once they own it, the fence goes up and they can build whatever they want. On your left, have Malaysia. So then beside the Malaysia, so here's Malaysia right here. And right here we have the Japanese embassy. So then beside the Japon. There's Japan. So once again, the Royal Canadian Mint. So there are two mints in Canada. The one that makes all our everyday money, that's in Winnipeg. Here they make money for other countries and special commemorative coins for Canada. So our everyday coins, Manitoba, but our paper bills, that's in Ottawa. So deux monnaies en Canada. Winnipeg, c'est pour notre pièce, ça c'est pour les autres pays là. And on your left, you got Kuwait. So à gauche, Kuwait là. And on your right, the National Gallery of Canada, the Art Museum. So à droite, the Musée des Beaux-Arts, notre Louvre. Now on your left, you're going to see some artwork. Or rather on your right, right here, on your right, there's a spider called Mother. And an araignée qui s'appelle Maman.
You guys can only see the legs.
There are three of those spiders in the world. One's in Ottawa, one's in Spain, and the third's in Dubai. Il y a trois comme ça dans le monde. Une en Ottawa, une en Espagne, et une en Dubai. Anybody like that thing? Kicking himself?
Send it to my friend if I go.
There you go.
Reminds me of a movie where the aliens invaded.
Pretty much. Yeah. So on your left over there, that's the Byward Market. So 3 streets to remember: Clarence, York, and George. 300 restaurants, cuisines from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
You'll find something you like. So 300 restaurants dans le marché Clarence, York, et George. Tu vas trouver quelque chose de bon. So on your left there's the American Embassy right there. So that's the États-Unis. So tomorrow they're having a big party, 4th of July. So demain c'est le 4 juillet. Alright, so there's the United States of America. On your left there's the market, the big Ottawa sign. So they're going to see you d'Ottawa là, dans le marché. So once again, you got right ahead. So tomorrow, if you want to do a tour, it's open to the public. We've got a tour to the Senate left. And the Chateau Laurier Hotel. So don't forget to check out the free museum, really nice, worth going in and looking around. C'est la musique gratuite dans le Château Laurier ici. The good thing about Ottawa is it's very walkable. You can walk pretty much everywhere. So from the Parliament to the market, 5-minute walk right around the corner. So, pour marcher le Parlement, notre kiste, elle a marché 5 minutes, pas loin. And we are now slowly heading back to the kiosk, and that concludes the tour. I hope everyone had a really good time, that you enjoyed Ottawa. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you had a good time, there will be a tip jar. Tips are always appreciated. So thanks everyone, have a great evening. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Au revoir, bye bye. Thanks a lot. Merci. So just stay seated. I'll let you know when it's safe to come down. Also, if everyone could do me a big favor, just on your way out, if you could just close the window, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, everyone. So just ferme la fenêtre pour moi. Merci beaucoup. Just stay seated for 1 second. I'll let you know when it's safe.
So what do you think, guys? Tip worthy or what? Was the trip worth a tip? What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down? What's your 2 cents? Mine is tip. I liked it. The gentleman put up with all my questions, except for the ones regarding whether they've ever had to use life jackets before. Well, I'll be throwing in a 5 because that's what we have, and I really appreciated the ride, and I'm really glad that they were let me bring you guys with me so we could all share it together. We're gonna go for a little walk afterwards. If you want to come with me, just stay tuned until we're safe to get off the bus. Yeah, David, let's go to the hill. I agree with you. Probably try to find a water or something on the way, maybe. FJT, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love being able to share things like this with you guys. Except I forgot where I just put that $5 bill already. So that kind of sucks. Hold on a second while I get shaky and get off the bus. Could you hold that for a second, please? We've got an assistant camera person for a moment.
Where are you from?
London, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
How about yourself?
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia on the camera job. Uh-oh, she's pointing it at the roof.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. Thank you very much. I don't know if you wanted the rest of your water, but okay. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate the journey.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me bring my friends with me.
Not a problem.
You have a wonderful. They did, and so did I.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful evening. Thanks, Captain. Oh, you're a driver now. Hey, thanks for the shout out from Michigan. I'm glad you enjoyed the view of our Parliament buildings here from the river. I thought it was pretty nice. And for the person who commented about how beautiful that would be during the autumn, you are absolutely correct. David, that is why I do it. This is so much fun to be able to share things with people. I get so much gratitude, way more than I do from a 9-to-5 job. Although that does actually pay money and pay bills, but this actually rewards the soul, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Let's go for a little walk on the hill here, check stuff out. Hey, JC from Long Point. Nice, beautiful place to go boating. believe Long Point's on Erie, Fort Erie. I got pretty nightmare story of going boating there one time. Well, I tell you what, stay tuned and we'll see if we can do some rides in Niagara Falls on the water. Not 100% sure if they'll let us go on with the camera. And I'm not 100% sure it'll even work because of the amount of water that ends up landing on us. So you can see here, we're taking a look down Wellington Street. Super duper quiet. Wow, I've never heard it this quiet. Maid of the Mist is a nice ride, and then there's the what was the name of the other one? Oh, excuse me, I'm letting out some of that excessive fuel that we were talking about earlier. Yeah, there's the White Water Rapid ride, I believe, and that boat's got to be... Yeah, Terry, I'm sure we can do it. I'm just assuming the lens will get soaking wet. Mr. Green Thumb at home. I thought you'd be at church today. Not at home. So now we're looking towards Rideau Canal. Sorry, JC. Yeah, I sometimes don't know when to shut up, eh? But I figured I'd better explain it in case the microphone picked it up. I'll try to refrain from sharing too much info. Well, here, let's go to the side. Here you go, everybody. There's Mr. Prime Minister's office. I don't know if you guys caught it, but did you notice that the guy doing the narrative on the bus ride described him as Trudeau and not like Prime Minister Trudeau or Mr. Trudeau? It sounded a little disrespectful to me. I call him Trudeau too when I have to. Prefer not to say it if I have to. Yeah, I'm totally open. My daughter has been asking me to go down there sometime, so I'm happy to go down there and see if I can get some more footage. I actually did do a live stream down there some time ago. When I was bored one weekend, I went down to go for a walk. Sun's going down just behind the buildings. I see we're getting all the fences ready to get picked up and put away. Yeah, Terry, you're right. I don't think that would go over well. He'd be losing his job pretty quick. Let's take a look. Wow, 10 after 7. It was almost exactly an hour ride if we kicked off on time. Well, that bus ride was pretty good. Would have been nice to maybe get splashed once in a while, I guess. And the driver, or the host, I mean, the narrator, he definitely, when I asked about did they ever have to use the life jackets, I don't know if you guys caught his facial expression if I was pointing the camera at him when I asked, but I definitely didn't say it louder. I pretty much understood that he didn't want to answer that one. Let's see if we can get Prime Minister's office in one shot here yet. Or no, we're still too close. So, so now we are on the hill here where everybody was having to go through extreme security just 2 days ago to come up here and take a walk, which kind of seems kind of odd. There appears to be more people up here now than there was 2 days ago on Canada Day. So not too many people were willing to go through that intense security. And the way they've got these fences, it looks like they had separate herds of groups or something. It's kind of weird the way they have the fences. Yeah, the flame is on today, which it was not a couple days ago, I don't believe, because I would have noticed it, I think. Nor were those flags on. Those flags came up Thursday night. Those big flags. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday night because Wednesday I was here and I definitely do not remember those flags. Could be mistaken, but there's a really nice view of the river on the other side of the building here, which we'll go take, especially with the sun going down. Probably look pretty beautiful. Oh, I see what you're saying. Maybe some parts of the grass. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I can see there's been some grass repair. So good call. Somebody mentioned a reason why the fences might be like this, and I think they're absolutely right. The grass here looks like it's been repaired a bit, so they're probably trying to keep people off it until it is fully repaired. Yeah, you can see the flame over here, burning strong. I have no idea yet. I haven't asked anybody what is even the point of that flame. I did hear someone say they're not supposed to put it out, but apparently I've witnessed it out a few times now. So nowadays when I hear people say, oh, well, they're not allowed to do this and they're not allowed to do that. Well, basically, my retort is, their government, they can do whatever they want, because they will do whatever they want. All right, so that gentleman was just telling us this is going to be an 8-year construction project. Well, Terry, appreciate that comment there, and you have to keep and remember there was a whole whack of terrorists that came to Ottawa for Canada Day. There was a major threat of the city being taken over and government being overthrown, so that is why we had to spend millions of dollars on protecting the area for the long weekend. And for everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Paul, YouTube channel, Canadian Free Living, and sometimes I can be sarcastic, which is what I demonstrated there when I mentioned about all the terrorists that were coming for the weekend. I found it amusing that there wasn't actually like signs in places telling everybody where the fireworks were. So if you didn't already previously know, there was a lot of people sitting here on the hill waiting for the fireworks show. And then at the last minute, they decided to have a few officers go around and tell people, so everybody was running down the street. Well, unfortunately, I can't run carrying gear, so we were able to capture a glimpse of it. I would have preferred to maybe been in a little bit better of a position, but it wasn't bad. Yes, Mr. Green, the fringe is what Mr. Trudeau fears. Actually, it's not the fringe that he fears. It's the growing of the fringe. The fact that the fringe, as he likes to call it, is getting larger and larger as more people personally get affected by government overreach. And it's unfortunate that in a lot of cases it takes people to be personally affected before they'll stand up and say, hey, enough is enough. I have not yet been personally affected by the government's crap. I was getting a little bit worried when I heard whispers of Trudeau going to apply a carbon tax to those of us that drive a pickup truck. And that was basically when I was going to have to accept that he was declaring war on me personally now. And when he starts attacking the minions for climate change, that is when I am going to have to pick a side. Because right now I'm on the side of whoever I feel is not being the bully. So I'll let you guys figure out which side you think I'm on, I guess. I've been fighting the bullies all my life. And why stop now? Somebody's got to stand up for the little people. Oh, Mr. Green, you're absolutely right. I do get affected personally, emotionally especially. I'm not meaning that. And when I was with you, we were also watching people get bullied, weren't we? So there you go. When I see people getting bullied, I like to jump right in there. It's gotten me into trouble once or twice, but I'll keep doing it. There's no place for that crap. So I'm planning on going over here. There's a really nice view of the river, the Ottawa River. If you guys have anywhere that you'd like me to go next besides into the river, then I'm open to suggestions. Conservative or PPC side, Terry, when it comes to politics, I think it's all just a bunch of bullshit. It's a theatrical experience to keep us minions thinking, oh, let's pick this side, let's pick that side, so that way we get to vote in the next dictator. So I'm thinking what we need to do is revamp our system, okay? So when we find a politician that says, hey guys, it's 2020, it's time for a revamp, turn the system upside down and start getting an actual real election. Maybe it's streamed live so we know that it's real and nobody can bullshit us and do any kind of shenanigans. Oh, I'm struggling saying that word lately. Behind the camera, behind the scenes. So when I find a party that is willing to stand their neck out there stating that they'll turn everything upside down, I guess that is what party that I will vote for. And as for voting now, I basically vote for anybody but the turds, I guess. The turdos. But at the end of the day, let me know when the last time, let's say the parties changed from liberal to conservatives. When was the last time that actual change or major change took place? Now, I'm pretty ignorant on the topic of politics. I will be the first one to let you know that. I have very limited knowledge. Basically none. I've never really followed it because I thought, what's the point? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. It is what it is. When I used to be a 9-to-5er, that's exactly how I felt. And I just focused on myself. It wasn't until this year did I actually really start focusing on people other than myself or those I love. Oh, I just felt a little raindrop. Nobody around me, so it wasn't spit. All right, let's head over here. Oh, there's another one. A couple big clouds over top of me. Not calling for rain. I think they are tomorrow, though. Well, there's a couple more. Big cloud above me right now that might be bringing a little bit of rain. I don't understand why we had to go through checkpoints a few days ago and now we don't. But oh well, again. Yeah, the ones that are over here especially. Maybe it's because I called him Turdo. He's sending in the rain clouds. So that bridge, we just went underneath that bridge in the bus. Terry, you're doing a good job of keeping it light in the chat room. Always enjoy it when you can get me laughing. Looks like a nice time to go for a ride. Let's see what this guy's driving.
How are you?
Haley, sometimes Haley was asking why do they call themselves freedom fighters if they keep backing down? Well, sometimes in war you need to do something called a strategic retreat. So I believe potentially there is a time and a place for a strategic retreat.
यहाँ
I'm not sure on this statement, but besides the St. Lawrence River, I think this would probably be the largest river in Canada. What do you guys think? I know there's another river in British Columbia that has an extreme amount of volume going downriver, extreme amount of volume of water. 3 million liters per second, if I remember correctly. Maybe per minute. I'm not 100% sure. But I went whitewater rafting down that river, and it was a lot smaller than this river in size, but the volume of water was intense. It's amazing. And that water you could actually drink right out of the river. It was all mountain runoff, crystal clear. So whenever you fell out of the boat, that was a chance to grab a drink. I always looked upriver though to see who was up there before I would be drinking, in case somebody was using the bathroom. Oh, someone's having a lot of fun down there on that jet ski. All right, well, let's get heading back to the hill then. Nice view though. All right, I better zoom out. Oh, we are zoomed out. Perfect. All right, so where do we go next, guys? I've got a few of you still with us. Hopefully you enjoyed the boat ride. And do you have anywhere that you'd like to see? Mackenzie River. Where is the Mackenzie River? I'm not sure. Mackenzie River. Definitely sounds familiar. Oh, Northwest Territories. 86% of Canada vaccinated. Wow, is that a true fact? That number sounds huge. That is how many people jumped on board, eh? Wow. So apparently we can go for a tour inside this building during normal hours of service. Not really sure if there's anything exciting inside there or not, but sure the architecture would be interesting. Uh-oh. Hopefully they're not coming to see what I'm doing. Yeah, 86 seems pretty high, doesn't it? Walking around aimlessly, FJT, to be honest with you. I'm thinking my mouth is saying to find somewhere for a drink. My brain is saying, is it going to be a beer or a glass of water? I guess maybe since we are here, we might as well go check out that flame. Because it's there, I guess. And I haven't checked it out before. I don't know. It basically just looks like a bit of fire, so. A triple vodka. Wow, I might not get back to the hotel. And not only that, Dominique, if I had a triple vodka, I'd be starting to get a little too loose-lipped, and then you would definitely find out whose side I'm on, I guess. So like I've said to you guys before, I'm not on the Tim Hortons side anymore, which is unfortunate because they used to be my favorite coffee shop. But ever since I found out that they're segregating on children and not letting unvaxxed children come to their day camps, I just don't see the science or the logic in that. So I can't partake in giving those guys my money anymore, which really sucks because, like I said, they definitely had me hooked on their caffeine. And then McDonald's has got me hooked on all the salt they put on their food, but I've stopped going there as well. So basically, oh, we're going this way. Whenever I see an officer looking at me and coming my direction, we're gonna go the other way. Yeah, Tim Hortons needs to be boycotted until that nonsense gets figured out. That's my 2 cents. And McDonald's. I did send an email to Tim Hortons, I believe 4 days ago, requesting the application for my unvaxxed child to go to their camp. And I'm just waiting to find out their reply. They haven't replied to me yet. No, Mr. Green, I've had enough of the police force here. I'll be leaving Ottawa tomorrow morning, and I'm only going about 30 minutes away to, there's a trailer park there where I've had my trailer for the last week. And I'll be heading back there until the 6th. And then I'll be going back to Southern Ontario for my daughter's birthday. Thanks, Mr. Green. Always appreciate it. It was really nice meeting you. Thanks for coming out and saying hello. Always nice to meet a new friend. FJT. Oh, you were told to boycott. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have authority issues. I don't get told to do things. I usually choose what to do. I was not told to boycott Tim Hortons. When I found out that they were segregating children for nonsense, I decided to stop going to my favorite restaurant, who I normally went to basically daily. So, no, if I misunderstood your comment. Wow, is that guy? Uh-oh, Haley, what are you doing? You just supported segregation. So you guys see this officer way over there? Hopefully he's getting into his vehicle. Sorry, I was just trying to check something out. I thought that guy was eyeballing me. Yes, Puffy, I agree with you. Let's keep on, well, you know what? Unfortunately, I guess if the other person that said 86% of us, I guess they're not going to be boycotting the restaurant. I've already yelled into the door a couple times while I've been here. Each time I've gone by and the door's been open, I yell into the door, segregation is wrong, boycott Tim Hortons. I've done it twice so far. And while I'm at my trailer, I do have instant coffee that I drink, so I'm good there. But at the hotel here, they have Keurig, and the flavors are quite frankly disgusting. Or I don't know how to make it properly because I haven't found one that I enjoy. So So far now, until you guys tell me that A&W is also segregating, I have started giving my business to A&W. Apparently their food is a lot better for you anyways, a lot less preservatives, if you can believe their propaganda on their walls. So A&W, and the coffee's not terrible at A&W. It's not bad. I wouldn't mind if they'd kick the temperature up a little bit. I like my coffee hot. Puffy, I do the same. I use, not Maxwell House though, I use, what is it called? Nescafe. It's a little bit more pricey, but not when you actually look at the price per cup compared to getting your coffee outside. And I was in the past getting my coffee from Costco, which was Tim Hortons, a great big container of instant. Yeah, Terry, you're right. A&W is a bit expensive. It is. That's what you have to pay for, I guess, if you don't want some of the products, like the amount of preservatives and hormones and everything else that's put into the fast food these days is incredible. And you don't, and we know it's so bad for us, but yet the government doesn't step in and do something to protect us from it. I'm not sure why. Look how many people each year die due to cancer and obesity. But yet, where's our government overreach there? I heard, actually, I watched a documentary on fast food, and apparently France educates their children to not eat fast food, and also France mandates that the fast food companies decrease their salt and their fat content in their food. And if you compare the nutrient values from the food in France to like any other country, I guess Canada, Australia, US, where they have our McDonald's and our Tim Hortons, then apparently France has 4 times less cholesterol, 4 times less fat, and 4 times less salt. I haven't confirmed that myself, but it was on a documentary I watched. So if our government really gives a shit about our health, then why aren't they doing things about products that we know are bad for us? Oh, there's a lot of ducks around in this area. Hear a lot of quacking. All right, so we need a vote. Water versus beer. We need to find a patio that's open. For one, that might be hard. Yeah, Puffy, I've heard the same actually. I talked to a guy just the other day that was into traveling to France, and he said the same thing. It's just not something, the restaurants are there, but hardly, a lot of people don't even go there because the government has programs right to, in propaganda, right to start convincing children that it's bad food. So that's a little interesting tidbit. And that, Mr. Green, which I realize I think you've left the stream now. We can hear the sirens in the background. You know, I came out of my hotel this morning. And was hoping to, you know, figuring the weekend was over now, a nice Sunday, I wouldn't be surrounded by police. And yes, I often say police, not however. I don't even, police. Yes, I always pronounce it police, I guess, just so that way we don't misconfuse me saying please. But yeah, I came out of my hotel this morning. I look right. There's about 5 or 6 officers. I look left. There's another 5 or 6 officers down that way. And I'm just getting fed up of it, I guess. I need a break. I I need a break from being surrounded by guns. So that is why our visit here is done. And like I said, my daughter's birthday is July 9th. She's turning 20. And we're going to go spend some quality time with her before we set off on our next adventure, which I don't even know what's after that, guys. So as some of you might know and might not know, I could be labeled homeless. My home is behind my truck in a trailer. I agree with you, Haley. Some of the boys in blue, I totally agree with you. I am very thankful for being able to walk down the street and not worry about getting mugged. But at the same point in time, I don't appreciate the overuse of them, I guess is maybe how I should word it. I don't like being surrounded by cops at all times. Oh wow, now we're getting right out there, eh? It's getting a little bit darker now. The sun's going down. We're back to the spot where we started here at the bus, the Amphibus double-decker. Yeah, I came to this place the other day, the Irish pub, and they tricked me. I could have swore I heard them say 2 beers for $7. And it was totally signed me up. But then when I seen my bill, I don't know what happened. The first one was $6 and the next one was $6.25. So apparently if you buy 2, you save 75 cents. But is there anybody on the stream from Ottawa besides Mr. Green Thumb, if he was still here? Certainly notice there's a lot of construction happening around. Hey David, thanks for the shout out. Orleans, I thought you said Ottawa the first time. Now I'm confused. Or is Orleans somewhere in Ottawa? And Puffy's from Montreal. Dominique lives near me, which is wherever my truck is. Yeah, I've never lived in such a big city like Ottawa. The biggest city I've ever lived in is London, Ontario. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So middle July, we're gonna have to find a place to, I don't know, to be. Originally, I was planning to take a road trip to Beaufort Sea. So if anybody doesn't know where the Beaufort Sea is, that is as north as you can drive here in Canada. It would be about a 7,000 kilometer drive, only probably about 6,500 kilometers from Ottawa. But now when we look at the price of fuel, that's going to be about a $12,000 trip in my truck. I wanted to go, the original aim to go to the Beaufort Sea was to go to visit the Inuit and spend some tourist dollars. And I still think that might be on my plan, but I'm not 100% sure. It just seems $12,000 in fuel is a lot of money. But I have not visited the Yukon yet, and I have not visited Northwest Territories yet. And I think there's some work I could do in British Columbia as well. I was actually considering buying a car. So $12,000 is a lot of money, right? So I was thinking, well, what about if I sold my truck, sold my trailer, and I bought myself a very, very fuel efficient vehicle, and then I could stay in hotels along the journey with that $12,000, which would turn into probably $3,000 in fuel, or maybe even less. I don't know the fuel economy of that little tiny car that I was considering. So that is an option. What would you guys do? Would you do your truck and trailer so you can sleep wherever, whenever you want, and also use the bathroom where and whenever you want? Or would you think I should get the most fuel efficient car and go for a ride in that and stay in hotels along the way? I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up. We got to vote for truck and trailer. Yeah, truck and trailer, we definitely have a lot more freedom. We get to park wherever we want and sleep whenever we want, poop whenever we want. But we'll have to spend a lot of money in fuel. Oh, that's a good point somebody just brought up about a small car won't be able to handle the roads. And for David, I don't know if you know this, but I have a 9-year-old Rottweiler. So between my machete and my Rottweiler, I feel pretty safe at nighttime. And I would love to visit Yellowknife. Has someone just mentioned that they visited Yellowknife? They were mentioning how beautiful it is. I'm imagining I agree with you. And I heard in Dawson City, the price of water, so a case of bottled water in Dawson City in the variety store is $22 for a 2.4 of water. $22. So maybe if I want, I could bring myself, you know, a couple skids of water and from down here at $2 a case, bring them up there, sell them at $20 a case. So how many cases would I have to bring in order to pay for the fuel? Any math magicians in the house? Okay, and another thing for everybody in Ottawa, please talk to your mayor and request more garbage cans. Can we please get more garbage cans around here? I'm noticing a severe lack of garbage cans and a lot of garbage around. So if we could please request a few more garbage cans. So, ooh, a van's not a bad idea. Be a lot cheaper in fuel because you're not pulling the trailer around. 600 cases. Now we'd have to do the math on how heavy 600 cases is and how much more fuel that's going to cost to bring it. But yeah, so I don't think we'll be doing that. But anyways, that's kind of, someone was asking earlier, where am I going? Well, there you go. That is, I guess, potentially my future. I did think about finally going back to, you know, the old 9-to-5 crap and going back to join the old regular thing that we do. We wake up, we go to work, we come home, we think about going to work the next day. So I haven't done that in quite some time. Well, it's been 2.5 years since I did that because when the Wuhan virus landed here in North America, I decided to buy myself a fixer-upper house, and that's where I've been doing for the last 2 years. doing a renovation product, which the government ended up making me lose money on. So there you go, my life story in 2 minutes. Oh, I shouldn't have worded it that way anyways. That's not fair. The government didn't make me lose money. I chose to fix up a house without getting building permits. And that is why I did not profit and I lost. Because right at the end, when I was about to put a for sale sign up, conveniently after I left Ottawa, because I was here streaming Operation Dignity, I got home, did the last couple things of renovation, and was about to put up a for sale sign when the building inspector showed up and put a cease and assist order on my house. So I had to sell it with a cease and assist order in place, which made me lose $250,000. Well, if I would have brought some gloves with me, I would help pick up some of this garbage, but I'm not doing it without gloves on. All right, guys, I think we're gonna try to find our hotel here and shut down the dialogue, because I don't want to bore you to death and then have you unsub from the channel. So unless you're gonna give me something good to do, good to go, somewhere nice to go to share with you guys, then I'm gonna head back to the hotel. And I'd bring you into the hotel room to check out where I'm at, except for the fact that it's an absolute pigsty. We haven't had the cleaners come into the room while we've been here the last 4 nights. So Daisy has made a major mess of the hotel room. All right, FJT would like to have a COVID debate. Okay, so we'll start off with who thinks COVID is bullshit and who think it's real. How's that for a debate? We've got to vote for fake. We got to vote for BS. David, are you talking about the market where that interview narrator guy was talking about? And as for talking to someone, FJT, I'd be willing to do that. Sparks and Bank, are they open? I wouldn't mind chatting with people, but the problem is some people can get, it's a very touchy subject. So if somebody gets too fired up, well, I'm kind of here by myself right now. And, you know, it's always nice to have backup if you're going to be in a situation like that. I noticed one of the journalists yesterday I was talking with, he brought his muscle with him. He hired some muscle just to keep an eye on his back. And it is hard to watch your back if you're, you know, in dialogue with someone or not paying attention. So we definitely have to stay focused. Yeah, it's terrible, the coercion that has had to happen to get people to get the jab. And I'll tell you right now, I've been a germaphobe for the last 20 years, my friends have called me. I didn't like that title. I prefer to call it germ-aware. In my late 20s and early 30s, I was a extreme pot-smoking individual, selling marijuana to put himself through college and support his family. And I was getting sick all the time by sharing joints with people. I was constantly getting the flu, and I was constantly getting a lung infection. I have asthma, and I started becoming germ aware. And I can proudly say, just being germ aware on how to avoid germs, I haven't had a flu in 20 years. Knock on wood. So There's how, a little bit of education can go a long way. And I managed to avoid the regular flu for 20 years without a mask and without a jab. But I'll be honest with you, when the vid came around, the COVID, I jumped on board, and with the fear monster of all people dying and everything else due to it, and my asthma, I grabbed a couple shots. I've been jabbed twice with, which one was it? Not Pfizer, Moderna. I got a couple jabs of Moderna. And on my second jab, 2 weeks afterwards, I just happened to, coincidentally, it was my 2 years up for my commercial driver's license, so I had to go in for my, what do you call that again? Every 2 years you go for a medical. And during my medical, the nurse did my blood pressure twice. And then my doctor didn't believe what the nurse wrote down. So he ended up checking my blood pressure twice. And then asked me, why was my blood pressure so high? Have I changed my eating habits? Have I changed my, daily habits? Why was my blood pressure at a point where my doctor was going to prescribe medicine to try to reduce my blood pressure? Then after I left his office, I kept thinking about it. Why would my blood pressure so high? And then I realized that when I went to get my second jab of Moderna, all that they did was kept warning me about my heart and blood pressure. So then it clued into me, and I've decided now I am just going to be not on the jab booster ride, and I'm going to just use what I've been using for the last 20 years, which is trying to avoid sick people. If I see somebody that's coughing their head off and fevering, I don't go start making out with them. I'm not going to share spit, and hopefully that'll keep us all safe. What do you think? 145, which I think he said 140 was the spot he usually starts maybe recommending people take some meds. But my dad said, 145, I've seen 160, that's nothing to worry about. So yeah, it's not like I was in a severe, high risk of anything happening. But normally my blood pressure has been perfect. Every time I've had to go for my medical. I stopped sharing weed once I found out that, I worded that wrong. I stopped sharing joints soon as I found out that the flu is in your spit, and if you share spit with someone that has the flu, you're highly likely going to get the flu. Okay, so there's just a little bit of common sense. We can argue if you'd like to about that, but I've witnessed it firsthand, so you're not going to change my mind on it. So I certainly was willing, and since then, so I only quit smoking weed twice in my life. Once it was late 30s. I quit. This is my hotel, by the way, but we're gonna keep going. Once in my late 30s, I quit, and I lasted 9 years, which I've always stated was the best 9 years of my life. But then an ex-girlfriend we went to Niagara Falls for the weekend, and she brought some weed with her. So 3 a.m, she said, I'm just gonna go outside, and I went with her, and next thing you know, I was back on weed. So definitely willing to share my weed, but not willing to pass around the doobie. And that would be smart, Terry. And FJT, about not living in fear. So I lived in fear till basically middle of February of this year. So until the middle of February this year, I've been wearing an N95 mask since the plague hit in 2020. An N95 mask at least provides you a little bit of protection. 180. Holy shoot. That's got to be a really high blood pressure rate. Oh, wow. So just reading Cindy's message there. Cindy, that blood pressure's, that's like out of this, like what is, that sounds dangerous, isn't it? Having it that high? I don't know. I'm pretty ignorant, but my doctor was probably just trying to get me on different kind of drugs. And it was actually funny how many different kind of drugs he was offering me the one time I visited him. My dad's always said that, you know, they make money off prescriptions. And I never really believed it until he was like, well, what else can I help you with? Do you need any of this? Do you need any of that? How about some of this? How about some of that? And a funny story, I know we just jumped topics terribly, but a funny story is I went and had him freeze a mole that was on my back. He offered to get rid of it for me. So the charge for it was $20. And he actually ran, I forgot to pay the $20 on my way out. And I was halfway across the parking lot when I heard, hey, Paul! And there was my doctor basically running across the parking lot to come get me for the 20 bucks. So if you think our doctors are being underpaid, there's some good evidence that says that they are. Well, I'm sure 180's got to be on meds. So back to the Mary Jane, because I'm going to share something with you guys I haven't shared yet. Well, maybe I have to a couple of you that are here, but so fell in love with Mary Jane when I was 14 years old. And like I said, I've been in love with her since. But I had to say goodbye to Mary Jane. I'm not sure, I think it was 7 days ago, that we got divorced. And we haven't been making out since. So yeah, pat myself on the back. I got about 7 days of sobriety. We're gonna shoot, our goal is 10 years. Why did I quit, you ask? Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to try to be the best me that I can be. And I believe strongly that I'm a better person. Oh no, wrong word. I'm a better me when I'm sober. So that is number 1 reason. And number 2 reason, it's that damn short-term memory. So about 2 weeks ago, I left over $300 worth of charging equipment at one of the locations I was shooting a stream at. I got back to my truck, I was tired, and I left it onto my tunnel cover, and I drove away. And like I said, I lost well over $300 worth of charging equipment, and was very upset with myself. So I made a video, I believe it was on the 26th. I made a video of myself taking all my leftover, all my marijuana and my edibles, and I threw it into the fire pit and said goodbye to Mary Jane. So guys, I think we're about day 6 of sobriety, and we're shooting for 10 years. At 10 years, I get to reward myself with something, and hopefully it's not Mary Jane. So there you go. There's my life story on the Mary Jane subject. So here's my local A&W where I've been getting my coffee from. And please don't tell me that they're also segregating. Yeah, just reading Terry's memory. Problem with his Mary Jane, and it's a true fact. I can remember when I had my 9 years of sobriety, and I was watching people under the influence at work, no less, and constantly looking around for, oh, where did I put that wrench, or where did I put that screwdriver? And that was my story as well on Mary Jane. So I'm hoping to, like I said, I want to be the best me that I can be, and I'm quite confident that that doesn't include Mary Jane. You guys will probably notice there was another thing that influenced my decision if you watched when I was streaming. I think this is where I was suggested to go. When I was doing a stream with James Top, and I lost my cool with his cameraman. That did not impress me at all. So, sorry, sir.
I have question you buy from where? I have always the phone, so I'm not good for the, yeah, you buy it from where?
Well, the gimbal?
Yeah.
I think I
So
got.
I always confused. Better to buy.
Yeah, this
Expensive, Walmart?
$100
100?
for this. Yeah,
How expensive? No. 100 maybe cheap.
100 is not too bad.
Yeah,
The-
2 days ago, many people came here. So sometimes my hand. So it's one good.
Yeah, it helps big time with that. So if you want to have it more stable, the problem when you hold your phone, it's all bouncy.
Yeah.
The gimbal, it still
It's very
bounces a
nice.
little bit, this $100 one, but it's better than nothing.
So maybe Walmart? Walmart, one.
I don't know. I got it at Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
I think it was
Yeah, good quality.
Amazon or Best Buy.
Okay, quality. Huh?
But
okay, thank you.
hey, have a good night. Thank you. So guys, sorry about that. Someone was asking about the gimbal, mentioning he was taking some video and it's always shaky, so he was curious on what to do about a gimbal. STMD. So I think Terry that was mentioning about his short-term problem. STMD, maybe you can apply for at least a handicap parking with that. So STMD stands for short-term memory disability. So my argument should be to go to the doctors and say, listen, I suffer from STMD, short-term memory disability. And my thought is I want to get myself a handicap parking sticker, because every time I go to like Walmart or Costco, by the time I get to the door from my car, I've forgotten what I was there to purchase. So if I have myself a handicap sticker and I park a lot closer to the door, maybe I won't forget why I'm there. Oh, towards Bank Street. So I'm on O'Connor. I'm thinking Bank Street is this way. Hey, and just for the 2 cents, obviously I was with a bunch of people 2 days ago. One of them being Mr. Green Thumb there, and everybody was smoking their Mary Jane, and I'm telling you, the aroma just makes my mouth salivate. I just love it. But fortunately for me, I've got, well, I don't really have much willpower until my mind is really made up on something. So I guess the answer to what I should say is, fortunately for me, my mind's made up right now that trying to be a cameraman for you guys and driving all around the province / the country, probably a better idea that I'm not smoking weed. I was just noticing someone mentioning about nicotine. I gave that up at 32. When I was 32, I gave up marijuana and I gave up cigarettes. And I did the marijuana when I was 32 because I had a terrible incident with my daughter that made me realize how lousy of a father I was. And I quit basically the next day. I tried to teach my daughter how to ride a bicycle, and because she couldn't figure it out in a couple of minutes, I lost my temper, my cool, and there she was in my driveway crying, and there I am in the backyard rolling a joint. So that was it. That was the end of it. So I gave up the first time I quit smoking marijuana was to be a better dad, and this time I gave it up to be a better me and a better cameraman. And so far, everybody I've spoken to that knows me have said that they've enjoyed speaking to me a lot better when I'm sober than when I'm high. Just fun facts, I guess, you know. Doesn't mean anything one way or another, don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I love an artificial smile. You know, you can be as blue in the face and be full of stress and have yourself a little bit of Mary Jane, and then all of a sudden everything seems better. So back to the Commie Broadcasting Group. Oh, I wonder if that one, I missed that one. And I'll tell you another weird thing. There's a Subway right beside my hotel. It's only open from 10 till 4, Monday to Friday. It only caters to the office, to the downtown workers. I thought to myself, wow, how can they afford the rent? The rent down here has got to be incredibly expensive. And these guys can afford to operate 5 days a week and only for 6 hours a day. What do you think? Government assisted? Wow, do I ever smell cotton candy? I think that is the place. I think this is Bank Street. Yeah, this is Bank Street. So that was the place you were talking about there. Brixton's. Oh, on my left. No, that's Bio-Jouy. Oh no, it is right here. Yeah, I don't think that's open. That doesn't look open to me. They've got all their chairs up. Lights are off. Everything closes pretty early around here on a Sunday, apparently. Well, let's actually just go back onto Wellington Street and we'll walk back up Wellington Street. And then we'll head back to the hotel. Go see how our baby girl Daisy's doing. I'll have to introduce some of you to her sometime. And then you'll maybe see why I'm not too worried about security when I have my dog with me. That's one of the reasons why I've been trying to look for one of those pet carriers, so I can a pet trailer for my bicycle that converts into like a buggy. So then when I'm here shooting streams and not feeling safe at nighttime or whatnot, if I have Daisy with me, then I know I have somebody that has my back.
Yeah!
Thank you, sir.
I forgot to get my radio last night, but no, thank you. No. Thank you, sir.
So, yeah. We just had somebody that was pretty excited about not losing his radio last night. I think that might have been the gentleman that we ran over with our camera. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. I meet too many faces. But my point was that I would certainly like to start bringing Daisy around with me on some of these trips that we have out. But she's a 9-year-old Rottweiler with a damaged knee. So she's only good for a good 10, 20-minute walk, and then she's limping. So we need to bring her in one of those trailers. Or buggies. But for a 100-pound dog, they don't have too many available. So now, as for the COVID being real or fake, I gotta go with, I'm gonna have to go with real, because, and the reason I say that is that I've had quite a few family members over in England that have been inflicted with flu-like symptoms that got labeled COVID, and they said that it definitely felt different than the regular flu. Some of them were unjabbed and some of them were jabbed. My mom, when visiting England, she went about 3 months ago for 6 weeks, and she met Mr. Vid while she was there. I think my mom is like triple jabbed or maybe quadruple. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. And who was that gentleman that we just passed? I have no idea. He was somebody that was had a lot of energy, I'll tell you that, by the sounds of it. And he seemed very appreciative of something I've done, but I'm not really sure what I did. Hopefully I was able to help him in some way. Apparently, I think I heard him say something about thanks for helping him not get his speaker taken away. So, as you've noticed in some of my videos, if I see any of the police overpowering or circling or talking to people, then I try to get the camera over there to help keep people honest. So maybe I was able to help that gentleman out. I certainly hope so. So we're gonna walk basically, I think, to Metcalf, and then we'll head back to the hotel because there doesn't really seem to be much here going on. I've got some ginger ale at the hotel, and another thing I'll just mention as well, when we were talking about segregation and how that's basically where I draw the line, and what side I'm on is the non-segregation side. So while our pandemic was going on and all the restaurants and businesses were either forced to or just wanted to segregate people that were vaccinated to non-vaccinated. Although I was vaccinated, I refused to participate in the segregation program and did not go to any movie theaters or restaurants or anything of the kind where I had to release my medical status. Even on my birthday, when I was invited to the Keg for a steak dinner, I had to decline due to the fact that I would have to show my medical status. And although my medical status would have shown that I was able to participate in the program, I just think it was bullshit, so I didn't participate. Yeah, I probably did. You know, I'm just as ignorant as the next guy, and I've been brainwashed since birth as well. You know, I'm no different than anybody else. We've all been getting propaganda fed to us left, right, and center, whether we realized it or not. I'm just finally starting to realize it and notice it as that. Well, the buildings look nice at nighttime. Let's just take a quick look at them. Hey, don't feel for me. I appreciate it, but I've got it great. I am in a great position. So many in this country / in this world are in a terrible, terrible situation. Wow. And I feel like the luckiest man in the world to be in the position I'm in. I get to drive around. Currently, I'm driving around Ontario, sharing things with people that don't get to do things like this. You know, I've gone on a few nature walks, and people have been so appreciative of just going for a walk into nature, which is something I do always and take it for granted, that how many people cannot go for a walk on some of the trails, on any of the trails that I go on. When I was here shooting the stream on Operation Dignity about a month or two ago, my morning walk, I had quite a few people thank me for taking them for the walk because they have either lost their legs or are in a wheelchair due to serving our country and are unable to walk these trails anymore. And it's pretty emotional when you get people showing their gratitude like that. Thanks, Hugh. I appreciate the shout out. And I also don't watch cable TV anymore unless it's forced upon me at a restaurant or something, and they won't turn it off for me when the propaganda starts like it did the other day while I was having breakfast. And I'm really, like I said, excited and glad to be able to, while I can, share these moments with people that can't get out and check out things like I can. So that is why I feel I am blessed. Sometimes I feel I have a purpose, a mission. I don't know what it is. Maybe eventually I'll get it figured out. But for now, I know it's to be mobile and have camera equipment. I know that sounds kind of retarded. Maybe that's the wrong word. I know that sounds kind of non-believable maybe, or weird, but sometimes you got to follow your gut. All right, you have to follow your gut. If your gut's telling you something, you should listen, and listen closely. So the quiet streets of Parliament Hill on a Sunday night. Few people up there enjoying the warmth of the fire. We're right now on the intersection of Metcalfe and Wellington. This is where basically the heart of the convoy was when it was going on. I'm gonna double check, but I did hear tomorrow morning. 41 people right now.
Oh, nice.
Just streaming live on YouTube.
Let us say hello.
Oh, some people would like to say hello. There we go. So we're on Canadian Free Living.
You got the bouncy.
Yeah, I've got the gimbal so everybody doesn't have
What's
quite the
site so we
bobblehead.
can go watch ourselves.
Canadian Free Living.
Free living.
Do you have YouTube?
Are we gonna remember that? Yeah, I do. Free living.
Would you like to open it? I'll put you on the channel and you can see yourself right now.
What's the video about? Like, what's all your videos
This
about?
right, what's going on in
Like, what's
Canada?
the Facebook page? Oh, okay.
There's nothing going on.
What's your stand?
No, we're going for a walk right now. A lot of people don't have the privilege of walking and they take it for granted. And quite a my viewers like to go for walks.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So a lot of times we just do walks if there's nothing going on, and we're looking at some beautiful buildings. Earlier we got to go for that boat ride. That's a bus.
Nice.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one
we
that
went
went
on
underwater?
water.
Yeah.
Lady dive,
What's
yeah.
the purpose of the group?
On my channel there is no purpose.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, you're just like touring Ottawa.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not from Ottawa.
But what's on the other
So
other times?
some of the stuff that we've been doing during Canada Day here, we were out with our camera making sure everybody was honest and nobody
No,
was
but
injured.
when you're not in Ottawa, what other videos are on your
I've
YouTube
done Niagara
channel?
Falls, I've done
okay,
London.
so it's like a travel
Yeah,
channel.
we go around and check stuff out.
Are you
Awesome.
Ontario?
For now, we're planning maybe to go to Northwest
let me write
Territories
down
and the
the
Yukon this
name.
summer.
What's the name of the YouTube channel?
Canadian. Free.
All one word?
No.
Nope.
That's a joke. Nobody laughed.
Oh, okay. Canadian Free Living. Did you put it right into YouTube or?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to?
Well, it would be the easiest way because then you'll never lose it. And of course, I'm going to get you to subscribe, so I'll have one more subscriber.
All right. I'll do it later because
Okay,
like I'm using
sure,
my
no worries.
data, I think.
No worries.
I have roaming charges because I came up from the US today.
Well, say hello to yourself then. And good night. Good night, ladies. Have a wonderful evening. Sorry about that, guys. They're just rambling on there anyway, so. Yeah, it is pretty here at nighttime. I agree with you. That's what I was noticing too. It's nice when all the buildings are lit up and the sun's going down behind them. I think I need to start working on being able to answer that question better. What is your channel about? I guess someone put freedom there. I definitely live free. So that would be a good answer. If I was to try to say it in one word, maybe that would be it. Which to some people that means different things. In Canada, it's supposed to be obviously, you know, what our buddy Trudeau said the other day, which is freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom to protest, freedom to travel. There's another one. We're supposed to be able to travel freely in this country. I was worried about traveling across the country in case there would be checkpoints in place like there used to be in between provinces. I don't believe there is anymore. I guess I could also say the channel's about deciphering between bullshit that's portrayed from mainstream media and then the other bullshit that's portrayed by content creators. Because unfortunately, there is that as well. A lot of people try to feed off what's going on in different ways, whether you're a creator or you're mainstream media. And like I tell all of you, what we need to do is make sure we take all facts from all different ways and try to put it together for ourselves. I like that, Ruby. It's about Canadian free living. Haven't paid any income tax in 2.5 years because I haven't had an income. So therefore, you could technically say I've terminated the government and stopped paying them legally. But unfortunately, I can't do that forever unless I find myself some under-table work, which fortunately I do have a few skills that might be able to do that. But for now, oh yes, Ruby, you're right. I do have to pay my taxes. You're right, Dominique. I might know, but it's kind of hard sometimes when you're put on the spot. You know, when 3 drunk ladies start asking you questions when you were in the middle of a sentence. Maybe I still have too much THC in me. I wasn't quick enough to answer them with like a script that I have. So, as you know, a lot of times I'm a wing it kind of guy. So, do you know what I mean by that? I don't have many plans. You know, there's sometimes when I know events are happening, sure, I make plans and I go there and I shoot some streams. But a lot of the times we just wing it, which means just flying by the seat of our pants. This is the one spot back in March of this year that I wish I would have had some security with me, because I almost got into it was about 11 o'clock at night. I was doing exactly what I'm doing now. Well, a little bit different. I was in the middle of the street. Now I'm on the sidewalk. And I had 3 gentlemen, I will say, that were stalking me as I was walking down the street staring at my screen here. And 3 gentlemen were stalking me. So I put my tripod down, I turned and faced them, and I was ready to go. And fortunately, I don't think they're used to that kind of response, so they turned around and walked the other way. But I definitely would have preferred to have somebody with me that night. I forget what I originally called this channel. I had a name before this one that lasted for a few days. And then Canadian Free Living came to me as a title. Seemed very appropriate. And when I tell some of my friends the name, they laugh and say, of course. Hi, Rob. Hi, Rob. Nick. I was just trying to read that last comment about V-Bucks and Confucius. Not really sure what that means, but I used to have a friend named Rob that I dearly miss. And the comment about V-Bucks, I used to play a game called Fortnite that would reward you and you could purchase V-Bucks. So that's why I hesitated when I read the name Rob and V-Bucks, because I certainly do miss that friend. Sometimes when you move away from places, you lose touch of people, and that's sad sometimes for sure.
There's a lot of Irish influence there. So there are some small towns in Newfoundland you go to and you swear you're hearing Irish people.
Well, I thought I heard like Scottish people.
Gay, yes, I'm feeling gay right now. Very happy. You're right about that, Dominique. I will be very poor by the end of this. I actually anticipate by the end of this year, if I continue on the path I'm on, I'm either going to be a homeless person living on the streets with no money, or I'm going to be dead, or I have to do something I really don't want to do, and that's just go back into the normal way of society here in this country, which is to live to work and not work to live. And I really hope I don't have to go back there. FJT, my family resides in Cambridge and in London, Ontario, for the most part. Southern Ontario. We're gonna go back there for a visit, but I don't plan on staying too long. And if you can ever convince me, if you guys actually want to have an interesting chat, then you'll have to convince me to go somewhere and have, like someone was mentioning earlier, that triple vodka. You get my lips loosened up, and then we might start going off my normal rhetoric of vocabulary and start going into words that and sentences that you guys might appreciate, but unfortunately I like to try to keep my opinions to myself sometimes, a lot of times. I've been trying to think of a way though, so I was mentioning about being homeless, and I've been trying to think about a way to stop paying the government income tax forever, because ultimately when somebody's doing a poor job, what do we do in society? We fire them. We warn them a couple times and then they're fired. So the government's already been warned more than once about their behavior, hence the freedom protest convoy, James Top marching across the country, and other things. They've been warned that they're pissing the people off, but they're not listening. So the only way to get them to listen, in my opinion, is to fire them. And the only way to fire them is to stop paying income tax legally. I'm not saying everybody stop paying and go to jail. I'm saying we have to figure out a way to serve each other with trading things, you know, Everybody's got a different set of skills. So if we could trade skills, and if the government lost, let's just say 1 million people stop paying income tax, you don't think the government would listen to that? I think they might hear us then. I used to pay, what, 30,000, maybe 40,000 a year in income tax. Times that by 1 million people, well, that's around $3 billion. Now, I know it's obviously, very difficult to not work for an income and stop paying income tax. It basically means you have to sell your home or have some kind of skill that people are willing to pay under the table for. But other than that, there's not much you can do. I don't know what to do in order to get the government to start listening to, the fringe, we'll call it, just for that's what they've labeled us. Oh, I said us. I guess I'm part of the fringe. I'm out here with a camera, not making money, trying to show you guys what's going on. Yeah, and there's nothing going on here in Ottawa tonight except for a peaceful walk, which is sometimes exactly what we need. We're on Slater Street. This is my preferred hotel. They accept dogs of all sizes here. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Rottweilers are frowned upon by a lot of places because they've been labeled a dangerous species. Meanwhile, it's been 9 years of a dangerous breed. And my dog's 9 years old and never bit anybody except for myself once. When I was splitting her up, we got into a dog fight. Thanks, FGT. What do you mean keep going? You must be getting bored by now listening to me ramble about the same thing over and over again. We did the COVID chat, short but sweet. Apparently we all are labeling that bullshit, so we figured that one out. And you're right, Puffy. My Rottweiler is a big baby. She's a big suck. She loves everybody. Until you come in uninvited. Then you get a different dog. But as long as you're invited, yes, they are big babies. But when they're doing their guard dog duty, you might not want to run into them. And I just realized we were sitting here waiting at a street. Yeah, I don't fear them either. I actually had to lie at my last house that I owned to the insurance company because the insurance company wouldn't give me house insurance because I had a Rottweiler. Unfortunately, when a Rottweiler does decide to do its job as a guard dog, or because it's been not properly raised by its human, then when they do bite, they often send you to the hospital because they have about 450 pounds of bite force that will definitely do damage. When my puppy was 6 months old, like I was saying, she got cornered by another one of those little yappy dogs, and the little yappy dog kept biting her ankle. And finally, my dog said, "You know what? I've had enough of this." It grabbed it by the neck and threw it across the room. The little yappy dog didn't move for 3 days. So that is why the Rottweilers have got a bad label on them. It's just because of the fact that they have an incredible bite force that can certainly do a lot of damage if you get on the wrong end of it. So I had to lie to the insurance company, and fortunately, my ex-girlfriend and I are friends, and she wrote me a letter saying that she was going to take the Rottweiler. So I gave that to the insurance company, and we were all good. We got insurance. All right, everybody, here I am at Arc the Hotel. So I am going to wish you all an amazing evening. Again, I thank you for joining me on the stream. I really do appreciate the company. And I really have a lot of fun sharing my times with you. So thank you all for watching. If I had some more information to share, I might just keep going like someone mentioned. That's right, Ruby. Let's get some freedom in this country. Let's get it back to where it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Good night, Puffy. It was nice chatting with you. Thanks for joining me in the chat room and talking a lot. I appreciate the conversation. Honk, honk, Ruby. FJT, looking forward to joining you next time. You guys play safe and stay out of trouble. And we'll maybe see you soon. I'm not sure when we'll be streaming again, but we'll find something. As I said, we like to wing it. Hugh, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining me in the stream. And good night, everybody.